Hello.
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 Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Daniel. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll try to be quick because I have a tooth pain. And right after presentation, I will run to my dentist. Sorry for that. Can you hear me normally?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit better.
Thank you. So today's topic is one of the interview questions, which is how to test an object. So let me start my presentation. This one. Okay, I hope I edit everyone. So, how to test an object? We will look at some examples like toaster, pen, and maybe an elevator. So, and in the end, I will provide with the presentation, of course, and the Word document where I put the other objects, examples of the objects. So first, how to test a toaster. In order to test a toaster, we have to try to, first of all, obtain more information about the toaster specification, because as there are many toasters in the industries, they fall into two main categories, like and nice. So the first question to ask, if the interviewer will ask you on the interview, and it's actually good that you will impress the interviewer because you will start to think from the high level approach. This is very important to check during the interview process. So like the way you approach the problem. Also, you can ask for scenarios like if the toaster is for homemade usage or the restaurant type. So they want to see how you think outside the box because it's the main important criteria that people looking from you during the interview. So you would need to raise the following questions first, as those questions will demonstrate the way you're trying to get the functional and non-functional requirements about the toaster. Like, is the toaster manual or time-based? What are the toast options? What is the toaster capacity? How many slices of bread it can hold? What is the power capacity of the toaster? What is the limitations? What is typical normal time per original specification to toast the bread? What size of the bread, like input, the width, length, can it be fit? What are the safety conditions and precautions? And more questions, we can list many questions. And after we gather these functional and functional requirements, we will approach to the testing. And test is a regular object. So we will start with the health check if we are testing it for the first time. And the health check will include end-to-end testing to assure major flows of the application working. So in our case, the toaster case, we will assure that the toaster will do the basic jobs, such as toast the bread without any issues. After, we can go into functional testing, trying to verify every single toaster feature. After we did the functional testing, we should do the performance testing to see, like, for example, how much bread it can fit and toast at the same time, how much stress it can handle by placing, for example, bread one after another during 1 hour duration. So looking more in detail, like connect the power cable to the appliance and check if it turns on the toaster. Check if the power light is visible on the appliance. Check if the power light shows once the toast is prepared. If the power cuts itself off once the toast is ready, then put the bread in the toaster and turn on the device. Then we need to observe the behavior of the toaster. Check if the bread after specific time, if the power remains on, if the bread is not added to the toaster. Check if the power gets cut off, if the bread is removed from the toaster. Check if the toaster requires heat after the first bread gets toasted. Add the next slices after the first one is heated to check how much time it takes. Check if the toaster accepts more slices than the space allocated. Check how many slices can be toasted on the battery. Check if the toaster works by turning off the electricity. The color, smell, like it changes. Then check how much power supply it takes. How much power it takes for the toaster during the different room temperatures. The moisture is again automated or manual. That is their timer setting in the toaster that prevents overheating of a slice. If the toaster color side with as per the specification, which is declared in the document. How many breads can be toasted for the lifespan of the toaster? Like overall, approximately. How much time requires in between the toasting, like how much time we have to wait, due the stress. Okay. Oh my God. Check the amount of power consumed for a number of toasts. Check for the auto cut-off operation in different conditions. Check for the operation of the toaster with the battery backup, if on the solar power supply, for example, and how many toasts can be made if operated for long hours. So by giving those basic answers, you can demonstrate your testing knowledge and capabilities during the interview. And that's what is the most important for the person who interviews you. So just remember 2 magic words: requirements and specification. And then we can approach to the testing, like toaster or other pen, ATM, coffee machine, with the different testing types, like functional, usability, white box testing, black box testing, performance, load testing, and so on. Second example is how to test the pen. Firstly, we need to understand again the requirements against which the pen was created. So will be based on the type of pen will be based on the ballpoint. Then the functionality, compatibility, installation and uninstallation, performance, and usability. For functionality, the test scenarios could be like verify the type of pen. It could be ballpoint, it could be ink. So let's assume we have a ballpoint. Then based on this, we will have those kind of test scenarios. The pen color is per specification. The ink color is also per specification. Then we test ink impression, the color on paper that remains consistent from start till ink in the refill gets over. Then we test dimensions of the pen, size, length, and shape of the pen, that it all meets the requirements. Test if pen writes smoothly and continuously without breaks or blows on the paper. Blows is just this, what should I say, spots. Test if the ink on paper dries quickly as per requirement. Like let's assume it's less than 1 second. Test if the thickness of the line drawn by the pen tip is per specification also. For example, it's 0.4 millimeters. Write on different types of paper, smooth, rough, etc. And confirm that pen writes correctly on all types of paper. Check if the pen cap has a gripper so that the user can plug the pen to the shirt pocket firmly. Test if the ink is waterproof. Write on paper, dip paper in water, and check if writing has faded or smudged. So verify the ink used does not have a bad odor, I mean the smell, because of the chemicals used in the ink. Then check weight of the pen is also per requirements. Test pen can be used for writing with various angles like straight, slant, etc. Different writing angles should not impact the quality of the impression made on the paper, nor should the pen tip be damaged. And validate the dimensions, length and weight of the pen also is per specifications. Such like performance test scenarios could be that if pen can work in extreme temperatures like very low or very high. Test if the pen works in high and lower atmospheric pressures. If the pen functions, if it's used for writing continuously for a longer duration, like for 10 hours, for example, when the doctors are writing the patient history. Test how much can be written using one complete refill, measure the distance it can write, and compare it with the specification. Test if the ink dries up if the pen is kept open without the cap for a longer duration. And again, we can dip pen in the water, verify if pen still writes without any issues. Load testing, so we can drop the pen from the reasonable height, like from 5-6 feet, multiple times with the different angles. Then we verify it's not broken. It's not broken, and the pen still can write without the issues. Press the pen very hard to the surface while writing. Drop pen on the ground, step it to the test if can bear reasonable external weight. So again, verify pen is not broken and still can write as expected. Installation is like disassemble and assemble the pen, remove cap, remove refill, and etc., and put it back and test if the pen writes as expected. And again, like same performance load test cases. It's also very good. Interviewer wants to hear about the negative test cases also. It will be a big plus for you. So like in this case, we can verify the functioning of the pen at extreme temperature. So it could be performance testing and the negative test at the same time. Verify the function of the pen. Again, like it's zero gravity, because maybe astronaut will use it. Verify the effect of the oil and other liquids on the text written by a pen. Verify if the user is able to write with the pen when used against the gravity, again, like upside down. Verify the function of a pen when the user tries to write on unsupported surfaces like glass, plastic, or wood. And verify if the pen works normally or not when used after immersion in water or any other liquid for some period of time. Another example for usability test scenarios. So test if pen is usable across the age. So children, adults, elders, whatever. and also by different professionals like lawyers, doctors, businessmen. They can write comfortably with a pen. Check with the different audience if the color and dimension of the pen are acceptable for the usage or profession. Test if the ink leaks from refill when the pen is kept used down for a longer duration. Test materials used in the pen are recyclable, also could be a scenario. Test to see if there are smaller parts in the pen that people can accidentally swallow. Yes, especially with the children or people who have this habit like chewing pen when they think. Test external material of the pen is made like of non-toxic material. Check pen has a firm grip, comfortable to hold, and does not slip while writing, like even for a longer time when your fingers and hands get sweat. So, and here's like another test scenarios that I come up. And we also have a test in elevator. So I would like to mention that there's no right and correct answer to testing the real world objects in the interview. The only thing that interviewer is looking for is your process and your thinking, your approach to the testing. So how are you detailed about this? And this kind of question help the interviewers compare you to other candidates and make you stand out. So better use the imagination and say like everything that you can test. Any like typical test scenarios for the elevator, like verify the maximum capacity, like maximum passengers capacity of the elevator, the maximum weight also. Usability is like height, width, and length of elevator, type of material used in elevator. Verify the buttons are present, like according to the number of floors in building. Like if the buttons to open and close also should be present. And they self-explanatory, like numbers, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that says about the first, second, third, and fourth floor. Verify that the controls are guided by a voice message. So whenever user presses button, sound should be there telling elevator is going to first floor or second floor, or like upwards, downwards, or presenting the floor like this is the first floor, or doors are closing, doors are opening. Then test cases on the comfort, like first of all, they always have to be emergency button and contact details. The performance, so the time taken to go to a particular floor, the fan is present in elevator or not, the light is present or in elevator or not, and functionality, like it moves to a particular floor when the floor button is pressed, like first floor, it goes to the first floor, second to second. Verify that the lift comes to the floor is up, down button is present. Behavior of elevator in case of power failure. So the elevator should not free fall or should not stop between two floors. Verify the lift door closes or not. If an object is placed in between the doors, should not close. The time for which the door remains open on the floor. Then the door should not open while the lift is in motion. And verify it, like we press multiple floor number buttons, and the lift should stop at each floor. The capacity limit also is reached, and it should be prompt with a warning alert that user should not be notified. And negative, like verify the behavior of the lift when the capacity of lift exceeds. if a lift, when there's a smoke or fire inside the lift, and like we can press open button while the lift is moving, and we can press the stop button before reaching the specific floor. So this is it for presentation. I will also send you another examples with the testing in real object in the wait a second, in the Word. Yep. Yep, like photocopy machine, ATM machine, and so on. Okay, guys, that's all.
Thank you. It was fun.
Thank you, I see.
Very useful.
Mhm.
Hope it will be useful for you. Anyway, I mean, it could be one of the questions in our interviews, in our future interviews. So better to be prepared.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Thank you. Good luck with you too.
Thank you.